Hey guys, so I'm gonna do a Fragment Friday, and I'm gonna be doing Fragment Friday on the Iron Daughter by Kagawa, and I got this online because I didn't feel like getting out my book, so I'm just gonna read chapter one to you. Chapter one, the Winter Court. The Iron King stood before me, magnificent in his beauty, silver hair whipping about like an unruly waterfall. His long black coat billowed behind him, accenting the pale, angular face and translucent skin. The blue-green rays glowing beneath the surface. Lightning flickered in the depths of his jet black eyes, and his steel tentacles running the length of his spine and shoulders coiled around him like a cloak of wings, glinting in the light, like an avenging angel. He floated toward me, hand outstretched, a sad, tender smile on his lips. I stepped forward to meet him as the iron cables wrapped gently around me, drawing me close. Megan Chase, Gino murmured, running a hand through my hair. I shivered, keeping my hands at my sides, tentacles grasped my skin. You have come. What is it you want? I frowned. What did I want? What had I come for? My brother, I answered, remembering you kidnapped my brother Ethan to draw me here. I want him back. No, Machina shook his head, moving closer. You did not come back for your brother, Megan Chase, nor did you come from the unseen place you claim to love. You came here for only one thing only, power. My head throbbed, and I tried backing away, but the cables held me fast. No, I'm rather struggling against the iron net. This is wrong. This isn't how it went. Show me then. Machina opened his arms wide. How is it supposed to go? What did you come here to do? Show me, Megan Chase. No! Show me. Something throbbed in my hand, the beating pulse of the witchwood arrow. With a yell, I raised my arm and drove the sharpened point from Machina's chest, sinking the arrow to his heart. Machina staggered back, giving me a look of shocked horror. Only it wasn't Machina anymore, but a fairy prince with midnight hair and bright silver eyes, lean and dangerous, silhouetted all in black. His hands went to the sword at his belt before he realized it was too late. He swayed, fighting to stay on his feet, and I bit down to scream. Megan? Ash whispered, a fin-like brown red trickling from his mouth. His hands clutched the arrow at his chest as he fell to his knees, pale eyes beseeching me. Why? Shaking, I raised my hand and saw they were covered in glistening chrism, running rivulets down my arm, dripping to the ground. Below the silk coating, things wiggled beneath my skin, pushing up to the surface like leeches in blood. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew I should be terrified, appalled, majorly grossed out. I wasn't. I felt powerful and strong, as if he actually surged beneath my skin, as if he could do anything I wanted and no one could stop me. I looked down at the unseelie prince and sneered at the pathetic figure. Could I really love such a weakling once upon a time? Megan? Ash knelt there, the life fading from him bit by bit. Even as he struggled to hold on, for the briefest of moments I admired his stubborn tenacity. But it wouldn't save him in the end. What about your brother? He pleaded, and your family that are waiting for you to come home. Iron cables unfurled from my back and shoulders, spreading around me like glittering wings. Gazing down the unseelie prince, helpless before me, I gave him a patient smile. I am home. The cable splashed down in a silver blur, slamming into the fairy's chest and staking him to the ground. Ash jerked, his mouth gaping silently before his head lolled back and he shattered like crystal and concrete. Surrounded by the glittering remains of the unseelie prince, I threw back my head and laughed, and it turned to a ragged scream as I wrenched myself awake. My name is Megan Chase. I've been in the Palace of the Winter Faith for a while now. How long exactly, I don't know. Time doesn't flow right in this place. While I've been stuck in the Never, the outside world, the mortal world has gone without me. If I ever get out of here, if I ever make it home, I might find 100 years have passed while I was gone, like Rip Van Winkle, and all my family and friends are long dead. I try not to think about that too often, but sometimes I can't help but wonder. My room was cold. It was always cold. I was always cold. Not even the sapphire flames in the hearth were enough to drive the incessant chill. The walls and ceilings were made of opaque, smoky ice. Even the chandelier sparkled with a thousand icicles. Tonight I wore sweatpants, gloves, and a thick sweater and a wool hat. But it wasn't enough. Outside my window, the underground city of the winter space sparkled with icy radiance. Dark forms leaped and fluttered in the shadows, flashing claws, teeth, and wings. I shivered and gazed up at the sky. The ceiling of the vast cavern was too far away to see through the darkness. The thousands of tiny lights, balls of fairy fire, or fairies themselves, twinkled like a blanket of stars. There was a rap at my door. I didn't call come in. I learned not to do that in the past. This was the unseelie court, and inviting them into your room was a very, very bad idea. I couldn't keep them out completely, but the Fae follow rules above all else, and by order of their queen, I was not to be bothered unless it requested it. Letting them into my room could almost sound like such a request. I crossed the floor, my breath steaming around me, and cracked open the door. A slinky black cat sat on the floor with its tail curled around itself, gazing up at me with unblinking yellow eyes. Before I could say anything, it hissed and darted through the crack like a streak of shadow. "Hey!" I spun around, but the cat was no longer a cat. Diaphian, the Fuka, stood there grinning at me, canines glinting. Of course, it would be the Fuka. They didn't follow social rules. In fact, they seemed to take great pleasure in breaking them. Furred ears peeked out of her dreadlocked hair, twitching spots erratically. She wore a gaudy jacket that sparkled with fake gems and studs, ripped jeans and combat boots. Unlike the Seelie court, the unseelie fae actually preferred mortal clothing. Whether it was in direct defiance of the Seelie court, or because they wanted to blend in with more humans, I wasn't sure. "What do you want?" I asked cautiously. Diaphian had taken a keen interest in me when I was brought to court. The insatiable curiosity of a Fuka, I suppose. We talked a few times, but she wasn't exactly what I call a friend. The way she stared at me, unblinking, like she was sizing me up for her next meal, always made me nervous. The Fuka hissed, running her tongue along her teeth. "You're not ready?" she said in her silent voice, looking me over skeptically. "Hurry, hurry and change. We should go, quickly." I frowned. Diaphian had always been difficult to understand, bouncing from one subject to the next so quickly it was hard to keep up. "Go where?" I asked as she giggled. "The Queen." Diaphian purred, flicking her ears back and forth. "The Queen has called for you." My stomach twisted into a tight ball. Ever since I come to the winter court with Ash, I've been dreading the moment. When we first arrived in the palace, the Queen regarded me with a predatory smile and dismissed me, saying that she wished to speak with her son and would call for me soon. Of course, soon was a relative term in fairy, and I'd been on pins and needles ever since, waiting for Mab to remember me. That was also the last time I saw Ash. Thinking of Ash sent a flutter through my stomach, reminding me of how much had changed. When I first came to Fairy, searching for my kidnapped brother, Ash had been the enemy, the cold, dangerous Mab, queen of the unseelie court. When war threatened the courts, Mab sent Ash to capture me, hoping to use me as leverage against my father, King Oberon. But frantic to save my brother, I made a bargain with the Winter Prince. Instead, if he helped me rescue Ethan, I would return him to the unseelie court without a fight. At that point, it was a desperate gamble. I needed all the help I could get to face down the Iron King and save my brother. But somewhere in that blasted wasteland of dust and iron, watching Ash battle the realm that was poisoning his very essence, I realized I was in love with him. Ash had gotten me there, but he almost didn't survive his brush with Machina. The king of the Iron Fae was insanely strong, almost invincible. And against all odds, I managed to defeat Machina, rescue my brother, and take him home. That night, as per our contract, Ash came for me. It was time to honor my end of the bargain. Leaving my family behind once more, I followed Ash into Tir na Nog, the land of the winter. The journey for Tir na Nog was cold, dark, and terrifying. Even with the Winter Prince at my side, Fairy was still savage and hospitable, especially the humans. Ash was the perfect bodyguard, dangerous, alert, and protective, but he seemed distant at times, distracted, and the farther we went into the winter, the more he drew away. And he wouldn't tell me why. On the last night of our journey, we were attacked. A monstrous wolf sent by Oberon himself tracked us down, intending on killing Ash and sprinting me back to the Summer Court. We managed to escape, but Ash was wounded fighting the creatures, so we took refuge in an abandoned ice cave to rescue and bind his wounds. He was silent as I wrapped a makeshift bandage around his arm, but I could feel his eyes on me as I tied it off. Releasing my arm, I looked up to meet his silvery gaze. Ash blinked slowly, giving me that look that meant he was trying to figure me out. I waited, hoping we would glean some insight into his stomach weakness. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will post up another Fragment Friday soon. Bye.